to Win It. I'm Jason Gilbo. With me is Matt Vaselli, taking a look at some stacks for tonight's slate. A lot of different stacks. I mean, we're talking about 4 really good stacks that I feel pretty good about here. Baltimore in a good spot. We got the wind blowing out a little bit in Wrigley. Cubs righties in a really good spot. So, I mean, a lot of different ways you can go tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, a really fun slate. Like you said, we got 4 teams we really like, and we also have that sneaky team, and we got a couple high-priced pitchers, so it's going to be interesting to see roster construction. But I'm ready to go here. Let's start with Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore getting Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson, not a good arm by any means. Throws a ton of fastballs, near 60% fastball rate, which Baltimore's going to eat up. I mean, usually like to target them against, guys that don't have a lot of filthy breaking ball stuff, just because their strikeout rate's fairly high. So I like the team. There's a number of different ways you can go with it too.
Yeah, really like Chris Davis tonight. I think he's going to be, if I'm stacking Baltimore, he's going to be the main guy in there. And then obviously you can't go wrong with Machado. Seth Smith, because Gibson's not that great against lefties. I mean, you can get really, really contrarian. I'd go those 3, and if I needed to, money-wise, I wouldn't even mind going someone like Scope.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, these bottom of the lineup guys are completely fine with. I mean, as you said, Gibson throws lefties, 342 WOBA, 316 to the righties. I'm with you. I mean, I like Scope. I don't even mind. Wellington Castillo has been heating up here over the last week or so.
Yeah, I mean, I think really we just got to wait for that lineup. I mean, a lot of guys are in play, and if you're going to need to save some money and to get up a better pitcher or some better one-offs, then, I mean, yeah, this bottom of the lineup is even, maybe go from Machado, Davis, and then go down, and it'll be really contrarian. But I think I really do like Seth Smith tonight.
Yeah, I do too. Great value option leading out there. So I'm with you. I mean, high over 5.5 run total. Next time, I mean, Josh Tomlin, he was kind of our arch nemesis last year because we stacked against him a ton. And finally this year it's starting to pay off more. But home runs, I mean, this guy just allows a ton to both righty and lefty in that ballpark. A lot of power bats here for the Reds.
Yeah, you and I definitely not fans of Josh Tomlin. So I'm excited to stack against him, as I do every single time he's on the mound. I will, lead it off with Votto and Duvall there, and then probably sprinkle in some Suarez. And I know Cozart's out, so that's going to make the lineup a little different. Maybe Peraza plays. I don't really know what they're going to do with the lineup here with him. I mean, he's day to day, but we'll see. I mean, he's got that sore wrist. So maybe Schebler. I mean, you got a bunch of different ways to go here, and some of these guys are kind of cheap.
Yeah, I mean, look at Tomlin, 38% hard contact rate to lefties this season. In steps, Votto. I don't mind Billy Hamilton for the stolen base upside. Yeah, as you mentioned, Schebler is having a decent month. I mean, over a 200 ISO. Yeah, but Duvall, Votto, I mean, those guys are one of my favorite plays on the slate just overall.
Yeah, and if you want a really cheap exposure in that game too, on the Cincy side, especially if Cozart's out, Scooter Gennett's really cheap.
Oh, yeah. If he steps into the lineup, that'd be awesome. I mean, tremendous value.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got that power from the left side. So, I mean, that would just totally make your stack different too. Who the hell is going to put, if they're going to go 4-man, they're going to go Votto, Billy, Duvall, and Suarez probably. And, I mean, some will even go Schebler, but who's going to go Gennett,
Yeah, and I feel like Suarez is really underrated in this matchup tonight, just because Tomlin is reverse splits, and Suarez is probably a good spin-off of guys like Bryant and Machado who are going to be popular.
Yeah, I like him. I like him and Duvall. I do like the righties. I mean, I like everybody against Tomlin, but I think since he's another good stack.
Next one, we got Wrigley game. Wind blowing out a little bit. Looks like 10 to 15 miles an hour. Ty Blatch on the hill. That makes the righties really in play here. And this is another one that we talk about this all the time with the Cubs is the different ways you can go with, given that fact that Contreras, Russell, Baez, even Albert Almora, they all hit lefties really well.
Yeah, I think people aren't going to go this route, and I do it every single time, and I think I'm going to keep doing it, is you can still play Rizzo against lefties.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna 4-man this is gonna sound a little crazy, but it's gonna be Bryant and Rizzo, and then Zobrist is in play, but I'm not gonna pick him. I'm gonna skip over Russell too, and I'm gonna go Baez and Contreras with those top 2.
Yeah, I mean, I like Baez. I like the fact that he's now shortstop eligible on DK. That'll help kind of fluctuate the ownership away from Russell and him. But yeah, I'm with you. Contreras, really nice price. I mean, I know he's been struggling a little bit, but the dude's a lefty masher.
Yeah, and people are gonna play Russell, and especially if Baez gets lower in the order around like 7. That's where I actually really like him. That's where I usually play him in tournaments because nobody's on him down there.
No, and this line is just so good. I mean, Ian Happ hitting fourth, I like quite a bit. And Contreras is just going to be in so many, RBI situations. I mean, how many times I feel like over the season we've seen him come up with like bases juiced? I feel like it's just been more times than not.
It is, and sometimes he's striking out, and other times he's just getting unlucky. He's hitting the ball hard. I think he's really about to start breaking out here pretty soon.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I think Cubs, I mean, realistically, 1 through 9. Zobrist probably is the odd man out for me. But 2 through 9, I mean, really in play.
Yep.
So, the usual Diamondbacks home stack against Miguel Gonzalez, who was, pretty lucky early on in the year. All of a sudden, he's kind of coming off. I mean, he's allowed 5 or more earned runs in 3 of the last 4 starts. Now it doesn't even matter with AJ Pollock. I mean, they're still crushing the ball.
It's ridiculous, man. I remember we stepped on here a couple days ago and said, "Oh, no more Pollock, so we're probably not going to be stacking him." And it just doesn't matter. This team's so deep.
Yeah, I mean, they've been tossing in Gregor Blanco, Raymond Fuentes, but I think Owings might be leading off. They're much more expensive than they were in the prior season. I mean, finally, David Peralta's 4.5 on DraftKings. Lamb and Goldschmidt both over 5.5, so it's definitely an expensive one.
Yeah, but I'm going to be there's so many good offenses tonight. I'm going to be making multiple teams, but I just really Lamb and Goldie, they're so expensive, but people are going to be as much as some people are going to play him. I'm not saying that, but people are going to be off him with that price and people trying to get to Greinke, Pineda, their Lamb's 5.6. I mean, people aren't going to want to pay 5.6.
No, I don't think so, especially given that Chris Bryant is $500 cheaper.
Yeah, and it sounds crazy, but we talked about a couple other third base options. Especially if we're stacking Baltimore, we have Machado too. I mean, there's a Cincy, Suarez. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to go. I think I like going Lamb tonight, really.
Yeah, I do too. I don't mind paying up. I mean, he's got 2 home run upside.
Yeah, so I'd go probably, if I'm stacking them, I'd probably go Lamb and Goldie, obviously. Throw in Owings, and then I guess I'd probably play Peralta too.
Yeah, I think Peralta's in play, but I mean, I don't even mind a Tomas or Drury if the lineup shakes out that way.
This lineup's just stacked, man.
Yeah. If you're going a contrarian route, I mean, it's definitely if you're building multiple lineups, but because Pineda is going to be a chalky arm, and I think this is more of a FanDuel thing because Pineda's, 8,700 over there. So I don't mind stacking Kansas City. Pineda's super home run prone, good ballpark there. Hosmer, Perez, Moustakas. I don't even mind Kane, all really cheap, and it's going against one of the chalkier pitchers on the slate.
Yeah, I'd really like it if, especially on DraftKings. Hold on, let me see. What's the eligibility of Moss on FanDuel? Is he outfield or is he first base? Oh, he is outfield. Oh no, he's first base.
He's first base, yeah.
Okay, so obviously you can't do that over on FanDuel, but on DraftKings, if he can crack the lineup, he's got tons of power in that short porch.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind him. I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways, and that's where one of the things where it's like, all right, I can play those guys and still get in a good pitcher like Greinke. I can still get in a couple other big bats too.
Yeah, and it's just it just gives you the ability to do so many different things. I don't know. I really like it.
Yeah, it's definitely against the grain. So I mean, once again, if you're building multiple labs, I would not be afraid to throw in a Royal stack.
No, and it's burned us plenty of times. So if it burns us again, I mean, what the hell, right? We're gonna go back to it in a week, right?
That's fine. I'm fine with it. Yeah. So, anyone else here?
I think it's pretty much covered. I mean, there's 9 games, plenty of. I mean, there's some stay away offenses. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think we should just mention we never know with Detroit. I mean, I know they had a long game last night playing Sunday Night Baseball, but Peacocks, I mean, he's been only in relief this year, so they could face a lot of the bullpen.
Yeah, I think Detroit's in play. I mean, Cleveland's still in play.
Yeah.
Minnesota's in play. There's a lot of stackable teams tonight. I think Cleveland might come in a little bit higher round too, just because, Feldman's not bad, but he's not good either.
Right, and they're going to be in small park there, so yeah. It's it'll be interesting. But I'm really excited for this slate.
Yeah, it's a fun one. I mean, we touched on about 7 or 8 possible teams you can use.
Yeah, I think you have plenty of options to stack it tonight.
So let's wrap things up here. You can head over to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our great tools and content.